Good? All right, welcome everybody. It's 6 o'clock, December 16th. I call this meeting of the North Brookfield Board of Selectmen to order. If you'll all join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of December 2nd and December 10th, the tax classification hearing.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant number 12 for $333,682.99. School warrant number 1047 for $175,200.98. CMRPC CDBG warrant number 1048 for $10,543.51. General fund warrant number 1049 for $130,480.90. The projects warrant number 1050 for $217,777.10. And CMRPC CDBG warrant 1051 for $52,695.21, and school warrant number 1054 for $2,450.
So moved. Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have 3 spending requests. Jamie, you want to read those?
Sure. We've got the spending request of approval up to $1,000 at Valid Diesel to repair broken handle on engine number 1, other preventive maintenance service. We have $575 to Beltronics to repair 2 Motorola radio pagers, and another one for Beltronics, $523.68 to repair circuit boards failed on pagers. So I'm thinking that the first of the number 2 is the labor, number 3 is the materials.
2 separate purchases. I have 2 other pagers out currently.
Okay.
I'm expecting to come back. I'm just trying to plan ahead for that expense.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair, we do also have another expense, and this is an emergency expense to replace 6 batteries on Rescue 1. We had issues where they shorted out, and they had not been replaced since the original purchase in 2019. It's in the amount of $1,779.64.
All right. I will entertain a motion to approve those 4 spending requests.
So moved.
Second.
All right, discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We have the water and sewer billing update. So one of the things that we're doing is, again, we've had meetings on this, we've discussed it. We're combining the bills for water and sewer, and we're trying to figure out how to do that. And with that, I will let Ron give us a rundown on his thoughts, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, I had a meeting with Ken and Eric, Jamie, and Lindsay. So all parties were represented with regards to water, sewer, and billing. And basically what it came down to is, kind of walk through a timeline, is the new combined bills will be sent out in the early to mid-February timeframe. and any outstanding balance that's current will be included in that billing. With regards to the combined bills, we will be still accepting partial payments. Partial payments will be accepted up until water shutoffs. Notifications are sent out, at which point then it's going to be a complete payment. And one of the things that we're also doing with regards to partial payments is there's now a priority with regards to how the funds are allocated towards each of the balances. And the priorities will be, first, the outstanding sewer balance will be paid down, then outstanding water balances will be paid down, then it'll be the current sewer balance or current sewer charges, and then the current water charges or water balance will be the last as far as the priorities. From a timing perspective, that's going to stay more or less the same that we've seen before, where we'll have a demand notice that's sent out. If your current bill or if you have an outstanding balance past your due date, then we're going to have a demand notice that'll be sent out, providing 14 days in which to pay that balance. Once again, partial payments would be accepted through this period. There would be a $30 demand fee that would be added to that balance. If after the demand notice due date, there still is an outstanding balance, then once again, now there's going to be a $30 fee, but that will be for a shutoff. That's the shutoff notice. So at that point, as soon as that shutoff notice goes out, that's when it's going to have to be payment in full, no more partial payments as of that point. So at that point, if even after the shutoff notice goes out and the due date passes, then the actual water shutoffs will be scheduled by the water department, and they will occur. However, right up until the point where Jamie turns the key, they would still accept, once again, full payments to avoid that shutoff. So that's one of the things that we're doing there. One of the questions we anticipated also was whether or not there would be payment plans, like you can have with larger purchases and things along that lines. The consensus was that we would not accept payment plans per se, but we would, as noted previously, accept partial payments. So you could kind of make your own payment plan, but once again, the due dates are still the due dates. And as far as some of the other things, as far as the shutoffs, all the notices are really going to be more or less the same. And the key is that after this transition period, we're going to settle back into the quote-unquote usual or normal cycles. The problem is that, yes, during this transition period, we're going to see a compressed, at least for one of the quarters or one of the cycles, we're going to see compressed time frame where there will be 2 bills that hit within, I believe it was 45 days, but we will have extended due dates on those, realizing that this could create a cash flow problem for users. So we're going to have a little bit of an extension with regards to some of those due dates. So that's, there is a timeline that we've included in the Selectmen's package, as well as a billing notification letter, or at least a proposed letter, that would be sent out to all the users, water and sewer users. So I don't know if the Selectmen had an opportunity to look at that, but we can obviously modify that. And one of the other things of note, all this change, one of the things that everyone was adamant about is we want to make sure we communicate this so that if anyone has questions or concerns, they're addressed, and they're addressed by the proper people. So that's why on January 7th, I believe, we will be having a public hearing or our informational session, and that's going to be at the high school.
Elementary.
Excuse me?
Elementary.
Oh, elementary school, excuse me, thanks, Mary Beth. It's going to be at the elementary school, and by all means, if you have questions, if you have concerns, that's the time to bring them up. The pertinent folks that will be involved in the day-to-day operations of this will be there and will be able to address the questions. So that's kind of a Reader's Digest view of what we have on the plate and in the pipeline with regards to the combined water and sewer billing.
All right, Thank you, Ron. You guys got anything on that? Before we-
Looks like they've addressed everything.
all right.
To me.
Jamie?
The lien question. When does that end on this timeline?
When does
The lien process end on this timeline?
that,
You need to speak up for the camera.
yeah, if you look, basically, it's bringing us into the first quarter of '27, that calendar year '27. That's when we're going to really truly be back on the quote-unquote normal cycle.
You happy with this?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna work out pretty good. I mean, I know we had talked about how the outstanding balances were going to work and if they were gonna be leaned in it. The way I understood it was they're not going to be leaned. Any outstanding balance from FY '26 1S is just gonna be, as Ron said, it's gonna be on your bill and is gonna reflect as into the total with the current amount. So we also talked about potentially not shutting people off the first round, just because this is kind of a new thing and it's a transition. So, you know, we talked about not shutting people off. And I don't know how that would play into, so I suppose if, you know, I'm a little unsure of that. Let me backtrack on that a little bit, but
But you're good, you're okay with this?
yeah.
You're good with this?
Yeah. yeah.
Okay.
I do have a question, if you're all set, Jamie.
You good?
I'm good.
Let him go in.
So Ron, have we decided if we want to put this schedule out, you know, either on the website or are we going to try to send something out in the mail now along with a letter, or are we going to wait until the public hearing plus send things out, you know, in the upcoming bills, or, you know, how do we?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get out as soon as possible, but one of the concerns I have is some type of an issue or concern is brought up at the public informational session on the 7th, and we haven't addressed that yet. So my preference would be literally on January 8th, hopefully be able to get it, that information out, be it on the website, be it through the letter. And then that way we know that questions, concerns are included in that information that's being sent out.
Okay.
As I said, it's as early as the 8th.
Okay.
That would still give people, a month before that first set of bills goes out.
Right.
So I think that would also, if there's additional questions for someone who doesn't attend the informational session, it still gives them an opportunity to raise their hand with any questions or concerns that they might have.
Okay.
Is the meeting the 7th or the 8th? You're saying 8th, I'm reading
No,
7th.
the meeting's the 7th.
Yep.
We're gonna send all the letters out on the 8th.
Okay, thank you.
So, all right, so we're gonna pause the discussion on that, because we have a poll hearing at 6:15, and it's a couple seconds away from 6:15. Timing and everything. All right.
I like the carrying the previous balance forward.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad.
All right, it's 6:15, so we're gonna have that poll hearing now.
Your information is in the back of your folder. It's marked poll hearing.
In the back. Ah, there we go. All right. So it's Madbrook Road, National Grid to install one JO pole on Madbrook Road beginning at a point approximately 915 feet south of the center line of the intersection of Oakham Road, install a new pole, 25-25 to power a new residential home. All right, so I will entertain a motion to approve that new pole location.
So,
Second.
All right, any discussion? Are there any abutters here? Okay. All right. All in favor? Aye. All right. Easy peasy.
thanks for coming.
All right, now, back to sewer and water. All right, Ralph, did you have anything else on that?
I just had, my comment was I like that you're carrying previous balance forward onto that first bill. So we're not like leaving it out and letting go.
Yeah.
I like that part. I'm glad that got resolved. That's all, just a comment.
All right, I will entertain a motion to approve the water and sewer billing process that Ron outlined earlier, and to post that meeting at the elementary school auditorium on January 7th at 6 p.m.
And the letter?
Hmm?
And the letter?
And the letter, yep.
So moved.
Second.
All right, further discussion?
I have no issue with the letter. So that's the wording, the writing, I think it's good.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Senior Center Outreach Coordinator,
We're gonna pass over that.
pass over that, okay. Thought that's what we were gonna do. Lake Lashaway Association,
That's me?
that's
Good
you?
evening. Yes.
Marco?
Yes.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And thank you for having us on the agenda. So my name is Marco Rodriguez. I'm a resident of Lake Lashaway. And I'm here representing the Lake Lashaway Community Association. And we are primarily seeking financial assistance from North Brookfield for our lake treatment next summer. So we have been focused on the water quality and the invasive weed on Lake Lashaway since 2019. That's when our first survey of the aquatic water that we performed. So our first treatment was in 2021, and every subsequent summer we have conducted smaller versions of treatments because, again, the first treatment was successful, but the resurgence of the invasive weed continues to happen every year, and we focus on primarily the areas that are most affected and where the weed grows, and we do a survey sometime in late spring. So as we conducted our survey this past summer, we have realized that the area on the cove, the basing of the 5 Mile River before it enters the Lake Lashaway, it has a significant amount of invasive weeds there, and that continues to flow into the lake. So the recommendation is for us to treat the north cove of the lake, which is where the boat ramp is, and the basin that is above before the water enters the lake under the bridge. And that treatment will be a significant higher cost than the past treatments. To date, we have spent $95,000 over the past few years, $92,000 on aquatic and water quality management of the lake. The estimate treatment for this coming summer is $59,000. So we have been Over the years, the membership has been contributing to the treatment for the water quality. We have done fundraising specials to help us out, and we have some corporate sponsors that have also helped us with the management. But this time around, it's a large amount, and we need contributions from both East Brookfield and North Brookfield towns to offset the cost of that. So we are here to ask consideration for that. The last special meeting that the East Brookfield town had this couple of months ago, they allocated $10,000 towards the treatment for the lake. So we're here, seeking some relief from North Brookfield to help us out as well. And then we'll continue to do the fundraising efforts to mitigate the amount of money that we need for the treatment next year.
When do you need to make the purchase of this?
This will be sometime in May, June next year.
So $59,000 overall cost for the treatment.
Overall cost for this.
And you've
this
got,
summer.
and I'm sorry, you've got how much kind of already squirreled away for it?
Well, we have some money aside.
Okay.
East Brookfield just committed $10,000 for that, and we're gonna send our letters to the members this coming January, asking for more money to be able to mitigate the cost. So typically, the membership pays the lake fee association plus maintenance cost, and we are trying to define what that number is, to be able to ask for members also for more money to be able to offset the cost. So we'll continue to have our fundraising efforts, our corporate memberships, and be able to have the $59,000 ready for this coming summer.
Any questions, Ralph? We don't have to vote on it tonight. It's got to go to town meeting anyway, so.
Well, we don't decide that.
No.
Voters do.
Nope.
So I guess the big picture is the treatment to the lake, maintain and increase the property value of the lakefront properties. All right, so I'm just trying to kind of, I understand, trying to understand what's in it for the town, I guess, I guess maybe not the best way of saying it, but, so property values, tax rates, how much taxes they pay, maintaining, improving property values. The interest in the town is to maintain that revenue base from those taxpayers.
That's right.
Okay.
It's a full recreational lake, so both communities, enjoy the lake. And for us, being able to maintain the water quality, we have water quality committees, we have a lot of things going on site besides the treatment, because our focus is to maintain the viability of the lake, because that sustain our property values, and at the same time, it's the place for everyone to enjoy. So that's our focus.
So you said that this was coming in from the north, coming down under the bridge.
Correct.
So how do we know that this is just this year?
So, so what we have now, we have about 6 years of experience in treating the lake, right? So the first year, the treatment was more aggressive with different types of herbicides, some to kill the roots, some to just eliminate the plants. So the reason the cost is higher is we're going to do the same treatment on the basing of the 5 Mile River before it enters the lake. Is the same idea, is the herbicides that will kill the roots and also will kill the plants. So the idea here through the pond and lake connections, that the firm that we hired to do this, is the biologists have concluded that if we treat that area aggressively, now years
The
to come,
area on the south of the bridge, in the lake or before the bridge?
we're going to do both. We're going to do north of the lake before by the bridge, and beyond the bridge where the basin is, because that's where we see the heaviest of the vegetation.
Okay. The drawdown that you do, does that affect the 5 Mile River at all?
No, it does not.
Because that runs.
Yeah, it does not. And the drawdown typically helps us
Yeah.
with, killing the vegetation around a certain margin that it gets exposed to the frost. But last year, because we had probably one of the harshest winters in the last, maybe 7 to 10 years, we realized that was most helpful. But in earlier years, the frost wasn't strong enough to be able to help curtail the regrowth of the weeds.
So this may not be a one and done. It may be continual after this, right?
So, yeah, it could be. But our experience now is that our first treatment in 2021 was most aggressive and helped, like this past few years from 2022 to 2025, we did spots that had regrowth because the larger area did not regrow back. So we are counting on the same treatment to be able to kind of diminish the significance of that patch there just before the bridge.
But the reality is it'll never end.
Oh, no, probably never end. It probably never end because we have no control of what else comes down, And one of the things that we do on a regular basis, once a month during the summertime, is to look at the nutrient levels at the lake. We have another firm that does water quality for us because the amount of phosphorus is what feeds the plants. So the nutrients is something that comes from everywhere, come from our lawns, come from everywhere that are surrounding the lake and all the water that flushes into the lake during a storm. So we have no control of those things.
Right.
But what we need to be proactive is to eliminate these invasive weeds because it becomes a swamp. There were areas in the lake a few years back that were just you couldn't use at all because it was so much weeds and plants that were getting stuck in propellers, and there was all kinds of nonsense, things happening because the growth was so heavily populated.
So I would it's a more control than eliminate.
Yes.
Right. It's just to keep it under control.
Correct. There's one. So back in the days, fanworth and milfoil were the most prevalent of the two weeds. Some right now we barely see it. It doesn't come up every year. So, but again, it doesn't mean it totally eliminates. But every year we have to be vigilant about where the regrowth are, and we treat those spots.
That's a whole lot better now than it was.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
So, I'm reading Microvac Labs, they did the analysis. Are they the ones that would do the treatment as well?
No, the treatment is done by Pond and Lake Connections. If you go to bullet number 3, that's who they are. They have been our provider since 2021, and they do the surveys that we try to do every other year because also we're trying to collect data over time to be able to actually know the efficacy of these interventions. But along the way, we have noticed that if you look at bullet number 4, the cost of the treatments have varied throughout the years, from $7,000 to $13,000, $13,000 to $5,000, and it's all dependent upon where the regrowths are and what areas are affected. So, considering the fact that the first year were basically 10 acres, 30 acres of the lake were treated, and now we're just doing spot checks. So it has been effective since the very first treatment.
All right. Well, have you got anything else?
What's questions now?
Help?
No, thank you.
Thank you for listening.
So we will bring that up again at a later date,
Okay,
because it's gonna have to be at a town meeting,
sure.
so, but, thank you for bringing that in.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, Ralph.
What?
Would you like to read the letter from Parks and Rec, please?
Sure. This is a letter from Parks and Rec dated December 4th, 2025 to the Honorable Board of Selectmen. It is the wish of the Parks and Recreation Committee to address what we consider an unnecessary and outsized point of contention over a child-size picnic table Several years ago, a small picnic table was placed in the little park in the center of town. When the Parks and Recreation Committee was tasked with the care and oversight of said park, the committee decided its location, along with the method of securing the table, was not appropriate, creating a safety hazard and limiting access to the adjacent handicap-accessible table. It was also the consensus that a more appropriate location would be at the child's play area at the North Brookfield Common. The table was then put into storage where it currently is until the committee has the opportunity to put it in that location. Recognizing that the table was a donation to the town by a local citizen, the committee recommends that a small plaque be affixed to the table recognizing the donation of the table to the children of North Brookfield. The committee also understands that the Board of Selectmen has authority of town property, and the ultimate disposition of town property is the purview of the Board of Selectmen. Therefore, the Board of Selectmen may decide the wishes of Parks and Recreation are not in the best interest of the town and place the table elsewhere. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Brandon Avery, Chair, North Brookfield Parks and Recreation Committee.
All right, discussion. Anyone? Nothing?
In regards to the letter now.
Okay.
I think the letter, yeah.
John?
So you guys are setting a precedent here in Parks and Rec also, because there are other benches down there that you're just gonna willy-nilly take up and move somewhere else at the request of Parks and Rec. And there's a lot of people that donated those benches for the little
Okay.
park in the center
So-
of town.
So what you're doing is you're reading into this something that's not there. This all has to do with one little table that you donated.
To the little park, not to the
You
playground.
donated it to the town of North Brookfield.
It was
Okay.
donated
It
in
was-
memory of our families to the little park in the center of town. And you know that, Jason. And
John,
everybody in
John,
town knows that. That
John.
donated a park, or a park bench, or a picnic table.
you're gonna make me gavel you down, John,
Go ahead.
all right? You donated it to the town of North Brookfield. That park belongs to the town of North Brookfield. Okay? It is town property. Okay? Parks and Rec, it's their purview to look over the parks, take care of them. That includes the common, it includes the park down by on 67. And there isn't really anything wrong with what they're proposing, other than the fact that you donated it and you wanted it to be there. Okay? Yes, Mindy?
So Joanne Charpentier here has a donated tape, a donated bench down at the pond.
That has nothing to do with
Oh,
this
yes, it
conversation.
does. Yes, it does. Because if they want to move it, they can move it to where they want it. They donated it to go there. And if Brandon decides he wants it someplace else, he can move it someplace else. It's a precedent. It's the same
It's
thing.
not a precedent.
How is it not?
Because it involves the child's table that was changed to something on the ground. All the other benches are there and people use them.
Right, and they use the little
So, we
picnic
have-
table too.
We have a response to Carol Ryback from Parks and Rec. Says there's no intention on the part of Parks and Rec Committee to move the memorial benches from the little park. Any conversations to the contrary is unfounded speculation.
It's the
Okay,
same thing.
it is not the same
How
thing.
can you not, how can you say it's not the same thing? It's the exact same thing.
It's not the same thing.
How? How is it not? How is it not?
It's a little table for kids versus benches, okay?
It's a donated
Listen.
table for the little park,
It-
gather me.
It's town property.
But so is
It's-
the Charpentier benches.
They are.
So is.
Nobody is saying
Kevin
anything-
St. Cyr is in memory of his
It's,
brother.
it's not part of this conversation.
It is.
It's
It's the
a-
same thing.
it's not, Mindy.
If he decides he wants
All
to
right.
put it someplace else, he can put it someplace else.
So Brandon was upset about the way that it was secured. I told you guys that I would secure it to the paver blocks. And you know that I can do that because I have more ways to fasten things than
If it
you can
needs a
imagine.
plaque, we'll put a plaque on it. It's this, I don't see how you cannot say it's the same
So
thing.
why didn't that happen? That you allow him to do that?
Why didn't what happen?
He could secure it a different way. Why not?
Did you hear the
What?
Parks and Rec's letter that was read?
They want to put it at the playground. It's going to last about 2 weeks over there, and it's going to get ruined. And I spent 6.5 weekends doing the
John,
playground over there.
I understand that.
That was plenty enough, I think, to the playground to donate my time and efforts and money.
I understand that.
Why are you making such a big deal of this? This
I'm
is
not
a
making a
little,
big deal.
this is a little thing for our kids,
I'm not
for
the
them
one
to
making a
use.
big deal.
You are. You are moving
You're the
something
one
that
yelling
we
and pointing
donated.
fingers.
If you don't want it there, then we'll take it home. We'll have it back to our house. It was over $300
donated. Now
to the
listen.
little park, to
Mindy.
the little park.
All right.
That's who it was donated
We're done
to.
with that. We understand what you're just saying. But the fact remains that it is town property.
But how are you
We're
not
gonna-
setting a precedent?
We're gonna discuss what to do with it.
How are you not
Okay.
setting a precedent?
Who's we're going to discuss? Aren't we discussing it right now? We don't
board.
want it at the playground, we want it at the little park where it was donated.
you let us-
She wants it down at
Wait
the
a minute, wait a minute. You guys first said it was a hazard with the chains and all that. So if he was gonna say he's gonna secure it a different way, then how is that gonna be a hazard? Right?
Did you listen?
If it wasn't gonna be a hazard, it should be still there.
Did you listen?
It should still be there.
Did you hear the letter that was read?
I-
What?
Right.
That's what it said. What? That's what it was
Parks and
addressing
Rec-
that.
Parks and Rec feel like it would be better served there. Okay? That's what we're gonna discuss.
It's just not right. It's
All right.
not right, Jason. You know it's not right.
So-
Brandon has an issue with John, and this is to get back at
It's got
John,
nothing
and
to do
You know
with-
it. You know it.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Brandon has a problem with John.
All right,
And go ahead and gavel me if you want.
I don't want to.
Kevin St. Cyr, he
All right.
donated that in memory of his brother. This was donated in memory of
All
our
right.
family. It's wrong, Jason. It's just wrong.
So,
If he wants a little.
all right,
if he
Mindy,
wants
Mindy,
a little-
Mindy,
If he
we
wants
heard
a little
you.
bench there, buy one.
Mindy.
He has money for that.
Mindy, we heard you.
Don't take ours.
All right, I will entertain a motion.
Jamie had asked
I-
me before
I'm
if
not-
I had
John,
a plaque on it.
John,
I didn't put a plaque on it.
John.
If I need a plaque on it,
We're done.
I'll put one on it.
We're done. Let us. All right. I will entertain a motion to either put the little table at the Common as Parks and Rec suggests, or with a plaque, of course, recognizing the the donation, or let John and Mindy take it home.
You'd like it back at the park.
So moved.
All right, discussion?
This board has been criticized for not supporting appointed committees, commissions in the past. And some of the decisions that have come from committees and boards in the past,
You gotta speak up, man.
this board has not been comfortable with.
Yeah, good. Because you know what? Back in
All
the
right.
day, back in the day,
Enough.
when they had meetings, they had a mic for
All
the
right.
speaker, a mic for you guys.
We're gonna
And
recess.
you could hear better. So, that's how it used to be.
All right. So we have, I'll call the meeting back to order. we have a motion on the floor. We're discussing whether or not it's gonna get put on the common or let John and Mindy take the table home. And Mr. Gilman was speaking.
As I was saying, we certainly had our share of criticism of folks feeling that we haven't supported committees or commissions in the past when they've made decisions. And in those instances, you know, the decisions that were made, you know, the board was uncomfortable with. But in larger part, it was more of how that decision came to be. And when a committee goes through a process in evaluating what they're responsible for provide stewardship with, and they have a logical approach where they did take into consideration well-being of the property, intent of the donors. In this case, I have to say I don't disagree with the approach nor the decision of Parks and Rec. But it certainly feels like a more complicated than it should be. In the beginning, I did ask if there was a plaque on the table, if it was a memorial. Was told there wasn't a plaque on the table. So, you know, a table is a table. Now, would there have been any intention to move any of the memorial benches or the memorial tables? No. No, and I think that the committee's been pretty clear about that. You know, and again, it's a difficult situation because Parks and Rec had been charged with the stewardship of the little park. Mr. Tripp has done a wonderful thing with all his work in putting that park together, as well as other areas, be it the rail trail, be it work done at the Common. Here's an individual who has gone above and beyond to make North Brookfield a better place to live in these places. I mean, you know, there's no denying that. And quite frankly, I you know, when I first started getting involved, John, you know, I respect John greatly. And the last thing that I want to be involved with is an action that could be perceived as disrespecting Mr. Tripp. But the board is caught in a tight place here. The child's table was chained to one of the memorial tables with a chain that, you know, could hold back a truck. And, you know, quite frankly, both tables couldn't be utilized the way they were designed because they were so close together. And, you know, there's really no denying that. And the table was moved midsummer, and not a word from anybody. Nobody. The table wasn't missed. And, you know, Parks and Rec has done a lot of work down at the Common too. And one of the focuses that Parks and Rec has, you know, really put a lot of effort into is improvements in the playground. You know, and quite frankly, the playground was kind of sad. And it's not to take away from others who have done work previous to this. It's just that there hasn't been a lot of attention put into the playground, and there hasn't been really any money thrown at it. And, you know, I think what's happened in the last few years, the playground is a great thing. You know, and it all kind of comes together. The ball field that folks worked on is being used. The players' families are coming. They're utilizing the playground. You know, you go down there and during a game, and it's like North Brookfield should be. Right? It's like it should be. It's like a time that we, you know, hearken back to and say, you know what? How did we lose that? And, you know, over the summer, over the past, at least past couple of years, we've had that. First night last year, I mean, weather was great. That playground was packed with kids. Packed. A great deal of the Parks and Rec's budget has gone towards that playground, and a great deal of their time has gone to that playground. And that little table's a nice table. Let's face it, it's a damn nice table. And when it, you know, when looked at the little park, chained to the other one, it's hard not to see the logic to Parks and Rec and say, hey, you know, it's a nice table. It would be great down at the playground. You know, and these are areas that are under their purview. And when you take a step back and you really, you know, you look at the needs of the town and you look at the needs of the kids, it's a hard, it's tough to see the downside of that. I mean, it's a little table. It wasn't made for adults, it was made for kids. And if it was built for little kids to use, North Brookfield kids to use, then what better place could you possibly ask for other than the playground? And I know what the intent was. But the town has to change over time. We have committees, commissions, boards for a reason. So that the community can come together, folks can get involved and make decisions to help change and improve things. Not to keep everything set in stone, not to keep it as it was back in the day. That's not progress, that's not how we make things better. You know, I appreciate everything Mr. Tripp has done. I appreciate the work, respect it, but I hold the same feelings for Parks and Rec. And, you know, at this point, I cannot be part of a decision that looks a committee in the face and tells them, yeah, I know you're doing your best, you're putting it, you know, you're doing a great thing. However, yeah, we disagree with this decision because things should stay the same. And the original request was that either keep it there or give it back. And if that's the choice we're left with, then I unfortunately, I would opt to give it back. Thank you.
Ralph? Anything?
Yeah, there's a lot to say. I'm dismayed that this has become such a contentious issue. That started a few weeks ago, 2 meetings ago, with a prepared statement, prepared in front of the cameras, disparaged the character of our administrative assistant in the first sentence. Said that we didn't care about the little park, which caught us all off guard. It's neither of those, that's not true, and I speak for myself and probably the other two members here that our administrative assistant has our utmost respect. And I believe I speak for all of us that we do care about the little park, and we recognize and appreciate all the efforts that have been put into making that park as special as it is. It is unique, and it is great. My understanding is that it was donated to the town. We have a committee of Parks and Recreation. It consists of 3 members of a possible 5, that I think the 3 of us have utmost confidence in doing their job. That table was affixed in that park. It was determined due to hazard that we should do something else. The purpose, we couldn't just remove the chain because we were concerned about somebody stealing the table, and that's why it was chained to begin with. So it was removed so that stealing it wouldn't happen. It was determined that there would be perhaps a more appropriate spot. So the Parks and Rec is making a decision to move that table to the children's play area and the common. I don't have a problem with that. I recognize the feelings and the sensitive nature for some folks. Trying to find an analogy that works. It kind of fits, and I think of a time when my son was growing up and he was ready to drive and wanted a car. So rather than buy a new one, I gave him mine and I bought myself a car. I didn't feel comfortable with where he was parking it or how he was parking it or whether he was washing it and keeping it as nicely as I did. But it's not up to me to take it back from him at that point. It's his car. I gave it to him. This bench was donated to the town. If we don't put it where you want it, I guess I'm sorry about that, but we're going to put it where we think is most appropriate. And if the decision is to support the Parks and Recreation, they have my full support. And if that doesn't work, then I just assume you take it and I don't want to ever hear about it again.
All right. You good?
Yes.
All right. Mindy, you had your hand up?
Yes. You know, what?
Go ahead.
John said I can't talk.
No, go ahead.
No, if Parks and Rec want a little picnic table down there, that's fine. They can buy a little picnic table down there and put it down there. We just want it where we intended it to be. We bought the handicap picnic table because John and I both have handicapped siblings. And we have grandchildren, and that's why we bought the little picnic table. It would be great to have a little picnic table up at the Common, but let them pay for it or ask for a donation for that. We donated it to Little Park in good faith that that's where it would be. And John, you know, we'll take it back happily, but, you know, John is willing to make it so you don't have to use the chain for it. And John, we're willing to put a plaque on it, but if we had the choice between having it at the Common or taking it back, we would just as soon take it back.
All right. Thank you. All right. So motion on the floor? Yes.
when equipment is donated to the town, and then it's given back to the person who donated it, what is the process for that? Is there like paperwork to be done? Is there some sort of a legal piece of paperwork that needs to?
Go ahead. Yes, you're right. In essence, since it is town property, and became town property as soon as it was donated, and the select board accepted it, seeing as it is town property, actually has to be declared as surplus. And by declaring it surplus, once again, only the board of selectmen can do that, then it becomes available for, I guess, redistribution, for lack of a better term.
So it's no longer an asset of the town, it's considered surplus and it can go back to the original donor.
Correct.
Okay. So when there was a donation made, was there tax implications for that? Like when you donate something to the town, can you take it off your tax returns? And if you take it back, how does that work?
Did you write it off your taxes?
No.
Okay. Just wanted to put it out there that if you did, then you...
Yeah, I'm not sure that works for towns though, either, by the way.
Okay,
The donation thing.
okay.
It's like churches and some other stuff, but I don't think towns.
Yeah, I'm not a tax attorney, so I don't know.
Just not to create further headaches, but I'll just note if folks were concerned about a precedent of town property being available for the town to move, creating a precedent allowing undonation also creates a precedent. So.
Brandon?
I would like to work with the board to create a policy so these issues don't arise in the future. I did send out an email today with some suggestions, so maybe at some point can look at that. You know, I just find the whole situation rather disappointing. You know, the town just did vote to give John back $300,000 last week, and he's worried about a little table, but I just assume at this point get rid of it.
That's
Wow.
And give it back.
Wow.
I have a question. I have a question.
Yes.
How long has that little table been in the park? Anybody know how long it's been sitting there?
Since the spring of 2021.
And now in 2025, people are saying it's a hazard? Have you had anybody say anything, like they tripped over the chain or anything?
I think I'd want to wait for that to happen.
I can answer that. Parks just took over the little park responsibility for it. So, and now that it's under our purview, we decided to take a look at what was there, and we made a decision, that's all.
And when did you take over? What?
It was either August or September of 2025.
All right. Whose responsibility was it before then to say whether or not that was a hazard? Nobody's. All of a sudden?
I was taking care of the park when I was on the Board of Selectmen. And it was there since September or November of 2020.
So I don't know if this has already been discussed because I'm not hearing everything that's going on. Right? But I wonder when you discovered that this was a hazard, did anyone approach John, because everybody knows what's going on in town, and say, John, we have a problem here. What should we do about this? Instead of removing it. Was there any discussion with him, I guess?
It falls under the purview of Parks and Rec. And it's the same situation it would be in with any other department and what it was under their purview. They're not gonna go and talk to whoever just because someone might be upset.
Jason, can I just say something? Brandon helped John build that park. and
Yes, he did.
appreciate it. And he had a relationship with John. He
Yes,
knows
he did.
where we live. He could have contacted John and told him what he was worried about, and John would have gone down and fixed it. They could have discussed it. made a decision what would be the best thing for that park and to make it not a hazard, but he was never even, he never contacted him. He's been at our house. He knows that it's not, this is a little town, it's not a city. We know each other. And Brandon could have come up in a heartbeat and John would have gone down and fixed it. And Brandon knows that. He absolutely knows that.
Thank you. All right. So the motion on the floor is to either put it in the common as the Parks and Rec suggests, or let John and Mindy take it home if they so desire. Of course, we'll have to vote on it being surplus after that, so. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. And of course, if it does go in the common, it will get a plaque put on it. All right. And I will, do you desire to take it home?
Yes, we do.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to declare the little table as surplus town property.
So moved.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. All right. Pete, you're up.
All right. Fire highway change order number 16/17. 4 items on the change order. Starting with the change order number 60 is for the chipping and leveling of the existing concrete slab for $10,909.67. That's in the existing fire department building where the trucks were parked. The floor was pitched to drain, 2 old drains, but now that it's an office, you gotta get rid of that pitch. We had fixed one part with a previous change order to cut out the slab and re-pour it. This is 2 other areas. Now that the walls are up, you can see how bad some of the pitch is. So it's gonna be leveled, to be ground down, leveled, and then floated by the float installer. Change order number 64 is for insulation on the 2nd floor ceiling of the fire headquarters. There was a pre-existing ceiling. There was no insulation above it. So once we started to get into construction, it was brought to our attention and we came up with the plan to insulate the 2nd floor, talked to the building inspector, he agreed with it. So that is for insulation in the attic and above the 2nd floor ceiling throughout for $5,308.65. Our PCO 66 is for the incoming service for $1,057.68. So there's a pre-existing water main that comes in. It has to be split, and one part goes to the domestic water and one part goes to the fire sprinkler system. So the $1,057.68 is for shut-off alarms and monitoring of those shut-off alarms, so that you can't go in and shut anything off without notifying somebody, because that way you can shut off the domestic if you need to, but leave the fire sprinkler active, or vice versa. So it needs to be monitored by code. And then number 68 is to sheetrock the 2nd floor kitchen and patch the stairwell for a price of $3,245.91. So originally, the 2nd floor kitchen was what's called an add alternate. They were gonna redo the entire kitchen, and to save money on the project, we eliminated that portion, but they still needed to gut the room, to redo the windows, get out some of the other items out of that area. And it was the only room in the building that wasn't getting finished. So for $3,245.91, they went in, finished gutting it, sheetrock, mud tape. So it'll be a clean finished room. Any questions or comments? All right.
Jamie, any questions? All right, I will entertain a motion to approve change orders 16 and 17 from Fire Highway.
Second, and actually, I might have a question. Sorry.
All right, motion been made and seconded. Discussion?
PCO 67, 77181. Storefront glazing.
Yes.
That has to do with the dispute?
Yes.
Okay. That dispute is still in motion?
No.
It's been closed?
So, you should have overall cost right in front of you. So that is, they're doing the work for that price.
Okay. Who's doing the work?
The same contractor. The,
Okay. Okay. So they agreed to do it?
yep, and that's materials, labor, covers
Okay, that's
everything.
lower than what they were,
Yep,
okay,
yep,
okay. All right.
that's what we said too.
Take or, yep. Thank you.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jamie, just in addition to that, there will be an additional charge to our litigation fee, just for information coming back from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whatever they charge per hour, will be a couple hours.
I already gave them the bill. It was on our town council's that he's talking.
Oh, was it?
I gave Tara the bill from town council.
Oh, okay, awesome, thank you.
We still came out ahead, though. I had to, yeah, because that's a big dollar value.
Yeah.
All right. Eric? Sewer vehicle.
Yes. So I'm hoping you guys had a chance to review the quote that I sent over yesterday. If you did, and you agree, Mary Beth has a copy of that would require a signature in order to get the ball rolling and moving forward with getting the truck purchased.
So the truck comes minus the plow.
Correct.
The plow that's on the old truck, will that fit the new truck? Is that a?
I don't know if the frame will, the plow itself certainly will, but, you know, I'm just thinking maybe, I'm hoping to get a few more, maybe a solid 2 more years out of the existing truck and be able to plow with that, so over that course of time, we'll plan as a capital item to just purchase a new, frame and potentially a plow. The one we
Okay.
have now is 15 years old, 20 years old,
Yeah.
she's pretty beat up, but,
Good enough to plow the property with?
What,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask where you use it to plow, just around the property?
The new truck?
No, the plow you're using now.
Yeah, we'll keep the existing truck and, essentially kind of beat on that, so to speak,
Yeah. Is that a 10.5-foot plow or 10-foot plow? That's a big
The one
plow.
that came off of the quote was a 10-foot Fisher plow.
That's a big plow.
Yeah, I'm not too savvy, I mean, it's what they recommended, did they give us a big package because there's a cost increase? Potentially, I didn't really dig too deep into that. I believe the plow we have now is a 9-foot.
Yeah.
And we can always, ask them about a smaller plow.
I've done plowing over the years, and usually an 8-foot is adequate. Once you go beyond that, you're adding a lot of weight and a lot of demand out of the truck once you go beyond that.
Okay.
9 might be okay, but 10 is big, unless you're gonna use highways or something, and then you'd have a bigger truck.
Right. Just take that into consideration.
All right. What was the total on the quote again?
So the total was 91,000 and change.
Okay. All right, and
And that truck, you know, it comes pretty fully loaded with all the options that we need, you know, at the sewer department, so.
Right, and that was approved at town meeting, right?
Correct.
Right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase of the truck that Eric is presenting to us.
So moved.
Second.
All right, further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We have a list of,
Mind if I take this?
well, I'm gonna have you do the SOP.
That's cool.
So the North Brookfield Highway Department is currently comprised of the following part-time workers available during snow and ice plowing season. Austin Grunovich, Class B; Jamie Gilman, Class D; Lee Churchy, Class A; Jamie Flamond, Class D; Louis Relaford, Class B; Brad Marsh, Class A; Ethan Gagne, Class A; John Sidebottom, Class A; and Lindsay Rockwood, Class D. Ron, you were gonna say something about?
Yes, in discussions with the highway superintendent, it expressed some concern about, I guess, fully staffing, for lack of a better term, for plowing events, especially major storms. And there have been at least 2 employees from the water department that have experience with plowing and had expressed an interest in assisting, you know, on an as-needed basis. The issue being the state's conflict of interest laws basically prohibit an employee of the town, and that includes the sewer department, water department, anyone under the larger umbrella as a municipal employee, is prevented from having quote-unquote 2 positions or two paying positions with a job, with a town. The way around that, to allow these, actually, at this point, it could be any employee, but what we have before us this evening is 2 water department employees that indicated they do want the, at least be on the roster, so to speak. So the way to do that is to name the position, which is the temporary snowplow driver position, as a special municipal employee. What that will allow, once a disclosure form is filled out by the employee, they can in fact have both of those positions and not be violating any conflict of interest laws. This is used quite a bit, especially in small towns, because as we all realize, in small towns, it's generally a handful of people that wear many, many hats. So this special municipal employee provision allows employees to wear many different hats. So all it really needs is the select board to identify that position, not necessarily the people, but that position, the plow driver position, as a special municipal employee, at which point then any town employee fills out that disclosure form, and they can, in essence, perform the duties of a regular temporary plow driver.
All right. Can I get a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that the Board of Selectmen designate the position of temporary seasonal snow plow driver as a special municipal employee effective December 1st, 2025.
Second.
All right, further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. All right, so next we have the standard operating procedure for snow and ice treatment. Jamie, would you take that one? What, you said it was cool, I'm giving it to you.
All right. So talking with Highway Department, obviously there's typical of getting into winter season, there's, conversations as to how highway performs its duties as far as snow and ice removal. And, with the understanding that North Brookfield, in the words of a wise female citizens in town, we tend to have a champagne taste with a beer budget. So I found it helpful if we could communicate what our strategy for snow and ice removal is. And the highway has put together this document that I would very much like to share with folks in North Brookfield so they can understand where, as far as how and why. Maybe there's a little bit more understanding. You want me to read through this?
Publicize it somehow.
What's that? I was thinking that too, but it seems like the chair really wants me to.
You want him to read this?
What's that?
Well,
He's not, but I guess he does. Okay.
Do y'all want him to read it?
No.
It's three.
Or just give me a
Three
copy.
pages.
Paraphrase.
Publicize it.
If he'll paraphrase, we'll put it on the website.
Okay. All right. So the gist of it really is kind of what to expect, right? In that, in here it gives I think he does a pretty good job as far as prioritizing main routes and then arteries off those routes. It gets into private roads and what to expect for those roads. A little bit, it was the last storm we had, because this is kind of what prompted, me reaching out to Randy, is like, hey, the way that the storm played out, we had some snow that came, and then that snow kind of drifted off into rain. And, what's the strategy there? And, and I kind of had my own idea what the strategy was, which was to pre-treat the roads so the snow didn't stick to the roads. Let the snow fall, and as the rain came, we taped it off into the end of the rain, then go through, plow it up. It took the water as well as snow off the road and kind of cleaned it up and kind of left us with something a little more drivable with one pass, right? Which everybody would love to, have all the roads in North Brookfield look like, the Pike. Where you're salt and a plow, coming every 10 minutes, but we just don't have that. So that's kind of in here as to hours, as to what happens, whose responsibility for automobiles left on the road. Gets into that. Some tips for residents. It gets into driveway openings, kind of what to expect on driveway openings, what we do, what we don't do. Mailboxes, certainly there's been plenty of talk of that in the past. Again, private roads, questions, concerns, where to send it to. So I thought this would be a good thing to kind of at least start, be able to communicate. I could assume it would be a living document in that we can get feedback from, townsfolk, and they have opinions about it. They want things different. We can certainly talk about it, but I think this at least sets kind of a basis of what folks should be able to expect from Highway Department and have an understanding of where we are.
Okay. All right, I will entertain a motion to accept the Highway Department's standard operating procedures for snow and ice and post them to the town website.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you want me to post that tomorrow or tonight? You don't care.
All right. Trish Miller's not here, right?
No, she just sent the email and asked me to request you guys.
Okay.
Clearance it.
All right. So Trish Miller's requested to offer tours of the townhouse during the first night event. These tours were offered last year. We've done them other times in the past, so I'll entertain a motion to approve tours of the townhouse on first night.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Sounds like we've been doing this.
I'd just like to kind of just make a statement on behalf of them. The tours just consist of the main entrance and going up to the Great Hall. It's not through the whole building, just to clarify that.
Was it really popular last time?
My understanding is it
I don't know
was.
what really means, but.
Yeah, it's always popular when they open it up to see the Great Hall.
Oh, it's a site.
Yeah, there were quite a few people last year. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
It's only 2 to 4.
Ralph, you want to read that next one?
Sure.
Savings Bank?
This is an email from the Senior Center Director dated Monday, December 8th, to the Selectmen's office. Good morning, we received a gift in the amount of $500 from North Brookfield Savings Bank. I'm attaching the note that was sent with the check so it may be accepted by the board. And it's called Local Support, Neighborly Care, Shared Growth. Enclosed is a check from North Brookfield Savings Bank. North Brookfield Savings Bank is pleased to support your efforts and wishes you much success in your endeavors.
Great, I'll entertain a motion to accept the $500 check from North Brookfield Savings Bank for general support of the senior center.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Thank you again, North Brookfield Savings Bank.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, public comment period. Nancy?
Alrighty, speaking of first night, we will be having our first night again, to be held in town on New Year's Eve. We are starting this year at 12 o'clock from 12 to 2 with tours of the wastewater treatment plant, which I'm really excited about, to be honest. I know I'm kind of a geek, but I think it's going to be really cool. There's probably a lot of people in town who have questions about how that works. What is it that we're paying for? So this is an opportunity for folks in town to take some time and go and see it. Go and see what we're paying for. Go and see what, this important part of our town. We also we're still working on some of these things, but I can at least tell you the things that have been confirmed from 2 to 4. In the First Congregational Church, we have an art show. We also have folk music. We'll have snacks as well. And at the Christ Memorial Church, which is the Episcopal Church right across the street from the Congregational Church, we're going to have a creche display as well as meditation opportunities in the sanctuary itself. But then downstairs, we're going to have pizza and snacks and games available for families. It'll be a lot of fun. We are going to have tours of the townhouse, which I'm really excited about. The library will also be opening. We will have local authors available to talk about the books that they have written. They're also working on other, snacks and games and perhaps some crafts, but they're still working on it. We're actually meeting tomorrow, and we will solidify what exactly is going to be happening in the library. At Herard Estates, we're going to have games, we're going to have music, and we're looking to have a poetry reading and a poetry slam. So if folks enjoy writing poetry, we are inviting you from 2 to 4 to go up to Herard Estates at the Common Room and get your poetry on. So that will be really fun. The Senior Center will be open as well. We'll have the music of Ravenwood, which is kind of a jazz band, as well as Hot Chocolate. Businesses will be open, Town Hall will be open, the Historical Museum will be open, and they will be hosting a scavenger hunt once again this year. And then, and I'm sure I'm missing something, but we'll be posting, throughout town as well as in the newspapers what exactly that we're offering this year. We are also from 4 to 7, we're going to be hosting another bonfire this year. We're going to have DJ Tabby LeBlanc, Long Branch Hot Dogs will be there, jars will be there, they'll be offering hot cider and cookies, and of course the playground will be open again this year. So come on down, enjoy everything that our town has to offer on New Year's Eve with your family and friends and neighbors. So thank you.
Thank you. Brandon?
Just on behalf of the assessor's office, I'd like to say that the tax rate has been approved by the state, so that can be announced. The new tax rate is $11.96. Last year was it was $14.17 last year. So there's a decrease largely due to the increase in valuation, but that will be the new tax rate for this year.
Thank you, Brandon. Anybody else? All right. Announcements.
You can skip the second announcement.
Okay. The town clerk's office is partnering with the animal control officer and the police department to announce our first top dog contest to help the town's kennel. Tag number 1 is up for grabs. Our town kennel needs some work. There are some issues with electrical, the roofing over the runs, the interior walls, etc. Every donation will qualify for 1 ticket entry into the raffle. Donations will be accepted from December 1st to December 31st at the town clerk's office, 215 North Main Street. There's a list of needed items available on our website. For kennels, 5 and more dogs, we will also raffle off kennel tag number 1. If anyone has questions, please contact the town clerk at 508-867-0203 or townclerk@northbrookfield.net. All right, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session for reason number 1.
Second.
All right, Jason Petraitis, yes? We will exit executive session only to adjourn.